Hello and welcome back to the Hype Bulletin, hosted by yours truly, Ralph Mentor. And all now, if you guys are watching and listening on the YouTube side, please press on the subscribe button, like button, comment if you like to as well to help support the podcast. And if you guys are listening on the podcast platform side, Apple, Spotify, Overcast, and all, please leave us a rating, add us to your library for any past, present, and future episodes and all. As you can see, I am not in a great mood right now, as the Red Sox have gone 2-4 since the last recording, and all in two terrible losses against the Baltimore Orioles at home on Jimmy Fund Marathon or Telethon Marathon. Past couple days at least, and all in record-setting numbers that believe the Jimmy Fund had with over $5.3 million that they've raised for their cancer research, something they've done for over 15 years, and I think 18 years, if I heard correctly, on the telecast. And as you can see, a huge Red Sox fan. Used to got hip to the Red Sox on sports radio on WEEI and all, and got hip to the Jimmy Fund and all back in like 02, 03 and all too. So something the Sox have been doing for years, at least something I've been aware of for years at least, and all too as well. I thought they've hit $5 million in their telethon, days at least, and all in the past at least, and all. But this last night was the first time they actually crossed the $5 million threshold, and also shout out to that too as well. The Dana-Farber Institute and the Jimmy Fund usually collaborate, every year for as long as I can remember, at least when I was a Red Sox fan, to collaborate and run a telethon and all, and raise up donations for cancer research and all too as well. So shout out to them, and great times in that type of sense, at least not for the Red Sox, but on the field, completely a different story and all too as well. They did lose after that big start by Dustin May, at least in all, this past Tuesday, at least in all. They lost that game against the Astros, and all. Hunter Brown, made up for the game that he made up for the start that he had prior against the Red Sox, when they were able to beat him with Clipper Criswell as the opposing starter, at least and all. But even Walker Buehler, I think he went 7 innings in that game and all too as well. But still, Hunter Brown just showed up, ace caliber type of guy and all too as well, honestly. So he just showed up and they shut them down. But the Sox were able to win the next 2 games at home against those Miami Marlins, and all, certain teams struggle against Miami Marlins. The Sox showed at least in the first 2 games against them too as well, honestly. Giolito had himself a big start too as well in game 1, and then Trevor Story had a walk-off hit to cinch the Friday game and all in the Fenway Greens, at least and all too as well, the Monster Greens, whatever you want to call them, at least and all. And then on Saturday, I think Bayo started for the Sox, at least and all too as well. They had themselves an easy win until Isaiah Campbell came into the 9th inning and was unable to hold a 4-run lead. I think he gave up, or a 5-run lead and all, but ended up giving up 2 to 3 runs. Aroldis Chapman had to come into that start and all too as well, and cinched the game, at least. And like I said, they won the game, but kind of messed up the bullpen going forward, at least, because on Sunday we had Garrett Crochet Day and all too as well. Not dominated, but he did his thing, at least. I think he went to 7 innings too as well, honestly. Had themselves a lead going into the 9th, but you couldn't use Aroldis Chapman on Sunday, because Saturday Isaiah Campbell gave it up, and you had to bring your closer in when you had a 4-run lead going into the 9th, and then only winning by 2 at least, and your closer was the reason why it was only a 2-run win, at least and all. So he was unable the next day, at least. I mean, you can argue that Aroldis Chapman is available to play, at least, but as a baseball kind of guy, at least. Now, I understand why they sat him and all too as well. I believe he probably pitched Friday too as well, honestly too as well. So totally understand why he wasn't in for Sunday. And unfortunately, the bullpen gave it up in the start in a game that Crochet pitched well. The Red Sox had themselves a big hit too as well by Willie Abreu off of sleeping on the Marlins right fielder and all too as well, but was unable to make the catch even though he got a glove on it, and was able to cinch it at least. So it looks like him hitting the wall was the reason why the ball popped out of his glove, at least and all. But still, made himself a hell of a play. But Willie Abreu was able to be a benefactor in that. He had I think it was a big 2-run home run at the time. They were able to have add another run. Sox had themselves a 3-2 lead or so going into the 9th and all. Then I fell asleep. I thought the game was going to be an over. I wake up, post-game things, and catch up on the highlights at least and all. But no, I wake up to them being down 5-3, and we're going into the bottom of the 9th inning at least and all too as well. So it looked like a clean game basically throughout the back half of that game at least and all. But I think it was Steven. I didn't see it. I heard Steven Matz was the guy they threw into the ninth inning, which I'm shocked with. Whereas Garrett Whitlock, but Garrett Whitlock was probably one of the guys that pitched on that Saturday prior against the Marlins too as well. Let's see if the internet can bear with me for a minute and all too as well. But still, thanks to that. Oh, let's see if we get it. But yeah, thanks to Isaiah Campbell and his blow up on Saturday, at least on the bullpen has been in the struggle since then, in my opinion, at least and all. Trying to bring it up and all. There we go. Let me see. Yeah, I'm curious why Whitlock didn't finish the ninth and on two. Well, maybe they had him earlier in the game too. So I just wanted to let me double check my information at least and all. One moment. So I'm curious why Garrett Whitlock to me is my second favorite bullpen pitcher out of the bullpen. Yeah, bullpen pitcher out of the bullpen. There we go. But yeah, he's my second best pitcher out of the bullpen for the Sox at least. And also I'm curious why he didn't finish the seventh. Yeah, that's why. Basically the first guy out of the pen after Garrett Crochet went 7 innings at least and all too as well. So now I can understand why Matt's closed the inning at least and all too as well. Matt's hasn't been bad at least and all too as well. Just watching NBC Sports Boston Sports Tonight at least and all. He's just not a high leverage guy. Fair point to Chris Grasper there at least and all. But he's not a high leverage guy at least and all. He's been a solid guy since he's been over at least and all from the St. Louis Cardinals in the trade deadline at least and all. But not a guy you want to put in high leverage situations at least and all. Maybe you wanted to give him a start of an inning like you gave Garrett Whitlock to as well, honestly. But yeah, so that's how Sunday turned out at least and all too as well. And it gets worse. It does get worse at least and all too as well because Monday ended up losing a game to the Orioles at least and all too as well. It was Dustin May pitching, had himself a decent start. I mean, I think he had a good start to his start, but didn't end it well. Kind of ended rough at least and all too as well. But only gave up I think like 3 runs at least and all. Bullpen gave in. Don't remember who. I don't want to say Jordan Hicks right now because it probably was Jordan Hicks. No, it wasn't Jordan Hicks. Jordan Hicks actually had a clean inning this past night. This yesterday at least and all because of the fire alarms ironically too as well. But let me go over since I have everything in front of me. I can't remember off the top who pitched. Oh, Moran or something like that. Yeah, he just got sent down too as well after all that too as well. But let me just confirm. Yeah, Moran, Rose, and Jordan Hicks too. Yeah, Jordan Hicks did pitch Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Yeah, this is Wednesday. Yeah, Tuesday. Wednesday. My bad. Today is Wednesday. But on Monday at least and all too as well. Yeah, Moran and Hicks gave it up. Anyway, but yeah, the Red Sox made themselves a comeback in the ninth inning. No different than how I'll explain on Tuesday at least and all, but. Bullpen, like I said, has been a mess since that blown game by Isaiah Campbell where you couldn't get 3 outs with then giving up 2 to 3 runs and all too as well in the ninth inning with a 4-run league and all too as well. So the bullpen's been in the way at least and all too as well. They did pitch better on Tuesday. Still gave up 3 runs at least. All 2 runs go to Walker Buehler. Justin Wilson came in the middle of the 4th or 5th inning at least. No, Buehler wasn't able to go a full 5 innings at least and all. But Justin Wilson came in, gave up the 2 runs already on base at least and all. I don't remember who gave up the other run too as well. I don't remember. I don't want to remember either, honestly, too, as well. These 2 games have been painful. And as much as the Red Sox fight, I stuck through watching both of these games, honestly. I got no love for it, even though shout out to Nathaniel Lowe, honestly, too, as well. His big 2-run home run yesterday and all, too, as well. But as much as I'm on the bullpen and all, too, as well, the Red Sox offense hasn't really showed up either, honestly. Jarren Duran, I feel like, was hitting, was just hitting well, at least, and all, until this 2-game set against the Orioles and all too as well. Julio Abreu, I feel like was your decent bat at least and all. Only saying that because he hit a home run on Sunday and all, but he ended up getting hurt and all too as well in that same game with a calf strain and all too as well. Then it doesn't look like it's anything serious. He's not on the IL or anything like that, but still. That's what they're dealing with right now, too, with their offense and all, too, as well. We look at, like I said, at least on, I get why they lost against Hunter Brown. Hunter Brown made up for losing against the Sox with Cooper Criswell as his opposing starter, at least. And also, losing 2 out of 3 against Houston is not something I've been too disappointed with, too, as well. The Miami Marlins loss on Sunday does frustrate me, too, as well, honestly, because it should have been a sweep and all, too, as well. But when I look at the offense, though, I kind of wanted to call them out, since the Miami Marlins game. But they had themselves a lead. the bullpen really blew it and all too as well. Honestly, too as well. And it goes back to Saturday, honestly too as well. Steven Matz is not supposed to be in that situation, but if Isaiah Campbell just does his job and all, Chapman's not used, Chapman's there in the ninth, whatever. You know what I mean? Even you were still able to use, I think it was, who did I see? Whitlock and Weissert for that start and all too as well. But again, this recent stretch 2-4. Since that Dustin May start at least and all too as well, that pass start against Houston and also not to start against Baltimore and all too as well, but still on the yeah, excuse me, got like a weird ass thing caught up in my throat, but excuse me, but again, yeah, I just don't see, not see, excuse me right now, got myself sidetracked. The bullpen has just been a struggle since the Isaiah Campbell meltdown, at least and all too as well. The offense, though, in the past 2 games has been, I say abysmal, at least all too. They just haven't shown any type of power swings, in my opinion, and all. I mean, you're not going to hit a home run in every swing, at least all too as well, but just haven't seen any gapping, my pause, but any doubles hitting the gaps, at least, all hard hit and all too as well, pause again, since I'm going that way, at least all. But again, you're not generating any type of power from your offense and all. It seems like you're really top heavy right now, too, as well, with your offense. You've got no contributions from Ceddanne Rafaela. You've gotten, no contributions from, Carlos Narvaez, I'm sorry there, too, as well, honestly. Guys who have been pretty, clutch for you throughout the season, at least, and all, too, as well. Ceddanne Rafaela has just been quiet since coming back from the All-Star break and all, too, as well. I believe there are reasons for it, too, as well. The man is dealing with a position change from time to time throughout the week, at least and all too as well. I didn't think that would be something effective, but you look at a guy like Mookie Betts and his numbers, at least and all, and you can argue he's dealing with the same thing by playing center field, shortstop, and second base that the Dodgers got him doing too as well. The Red Sox are kind of in the same situation with Marcelo Meyer, now official, not coming back for the rest of the season and all. Now Ceddanne Rafaela is playing more second base while he's been playing great center field too as well, honestly, and he's been pretty damn good at second base too as well, honestly, but it could be contributing to his bat and all too as well. Narvaez was dealing with a knee thing, and now he's been back too as well. Masataka Yoshida, I think he's been hitting the ball better, but then you're seeing his struggles all over again in this series against Baltimore and all too as well. So it's just the bottom half of the lineup has not been, showing up and all too as well. I'm trying to think of anyone else and all too as well for the bottom of the line. I mean, Toro, we all know about Toro and all too as well. Abraham Toro was hot when they first put him in there after the Cassis injury and all too as well, but has definitely slowed down all too as well. And there's a situation where the Sox had the bases loaded 3 straight times in this baseball game and never got a run into as well, honestly. Shout out to Nathaniel Lowe, because he was the reason why they got any runs in those late innings and all too as well, with the amount of opportunities. I think I heard 13 runners left on base. I think 0 for 13 runners left on base, runners left in scoring position, I should say, by the Boston Red Sox in Tuesday's game, at least against the Orioles and all too as well. So the offense is non-existent and all too as well. The bottom of the lineup has not been good. Roman Anthony's kind of cooled down too. Trevor Story was hot last week too as well. Now he's cooled down to a degree too as well, honestly. And Bregman, even though he's been good, just hasn't, he's been clutch from time to time since coming back from that, I think, oblique or the hip or thigh issue, at least and all too as well. But he hasn't, he's had moments to be clutch and all too as well, but hasn't been able to either, like, not getting the pitches too as well. He's had some big walks at least and all to set up Duran and Story at least and all, but still, even though he hasn't had a clutch hit for a while too as well, honestly. So the offense has tapered down and all too as well. I am expecting a jolt out of this team and all too as well. I was kind of worried until the Nathaniel Lowe home run in the ninth inning, at least and all too as well. And I think he's put on some good swings since he's been on, since they signed him and put him onto the team, at least all over the past couple of days, at least all too as well. So I was a little worried about the offense going forward, at least like where you're gonna get this jolt from, at least but it could be Nathaniel Lowe and all too as well. DH yesterday. He's typically a first baseman apparently, from what I've been reading and hearing, at least all too as well. Toro's been struggling. Let's put Nathaniel Lowe in there, another left-hand bat. So I do understand Cora's going to be like, a little resistant just to throw him in there and all too as well. But this team is lacking a jolt and all too as well. Nathaniel Lowe gave you that big home run and all too as well last night, so you would think maybe he can, get something going for the team too as well. Because even though, like I said, you're not going to hit home runs in every at bat, or you're not expecting that and all. You do want some hard hit balls, from time to time at least and all too as well. You just haven't seen anything hit the gaps for a double or anything like that to really get an inning going and all too as well. Even like the other night too on Monday, Romy Gonzalez got on base. got himself thrown out at second base and all too as well. It's just nothing. They're trying to brew up something. You're trying to see it and all too as well. Even Connor Wong forcing a run by a balk and all too as well by a pitcher and all. They've done those little things throughout the week and all too as well. Even the game in Houston in Minnesota, if I remember correctly, that they were trying to muddy up a run at least, or muddy taking away a run from somebody or something like that. But I would like to see some more power out of these bats at least, some more, less than relying on the skinny things of getting runs and all too as well, honestly. So big stretch against the well, since I had some optimism about the offense and all too as well, and the reason why it took me a while to see if I can record today, because where can I find some optimism and positivity and all too as well. The bullpen sucks right now too as well, and I will shout out the Isaiah Campbell meltdown for the reason why the bullpen has struggled over the last 3 games and all too as well. But you have a guy in Justin Slayton that just had his rehab relief appearance. There we go for the Woes Sox and the Worcester Red Sox at least, and all the AAA team and all too as well. And apparently, this is news to me, that he was supposed to be the the closer of this team and all too as well. And seeing Chapman, we saw Chapman again last night and all too as well. To me, that's a start. That's a great addition to the bullpen. If he was supposed to be your closer, and the way Chapman's looking, he's supposed to be the caliber Chapman and all too as well. And he apparently looked good in that appearance with the Woes Sox. And I think he threw like 13 to 15 pitches, something like that. I don't know about that, but I do know he threw 11 of those were strikes, at least and all too as well. And I think he struck out every batter he faced too as well, honestly. So this would be huge for the bullpen if there's a high leverage guy like that coming to your team, honestly, too, as well. Just to someone's point that I heard earlier, just slots everyone down. You got Chapman's going to be your top guy, at least and all. But if Slayton can be really that guy, Slayton's your 8th guy. And like I said, I've been a fan of the Whitlock this year, too, as well, even though he gave up a run in yesterday's game and all, it's off cheap stuff, at least, and all, too, as well. So I'm cool with that. As long as it's cheap hits, at least, and all, too. It's not like, loud, loud bearing hits at least and all too as well. Yeah, that was bad, but still. But yeah, if you can add Slayton into your bullpen and all before Chapman, after Chapman, however you want to lay it out at least. But you got Garrett Whitlock there. A little suspect with Weissert, but at least you peg him down at least, and I'll pause. But you put him down one spot at least, and all too as well. Justin Wilson, even though we had a bad appearance, yesterday at least, and all too as well, he's still a solid guy too as well. I'm not gonna, even though the bullpen has had its bad stretch at least, I do like the arms that they have. Thanks to Isaiah Campbell. Again, I'm gonna keep saying his name until he gets back down to the AAA or DFA, whatever you want to call it, at least, but kind of messed up because of his bad appearance though on Saturday, kind of messed up the order in my opinion going forward, why I think the bullpen has been struggling to a degree. But again, if you're adding Slayton, a guy like a closer caliber type of guy as your 8th inning guy, honestly, then Garrett Whitlock is your 7th inning guy and all, then Weissart, Wilson, Bernardino's back and all too as well, which I'm so happy to hear. I didn't know about rules. If you send someone down, you got to wait 15 days for them to come back. So now I understand why they did it and all too as well. Rest the guy because he's been a horse for them too as well, honestly. But now you got Bernardino back in there too as well, honestly. So it just deepens out your bullpen a bit more too as well. Obviously, if we're talking playoffs and all too as well, one of your starters can turn into your long guy, so you don't need Isaiah Campbell anymore and all too as well. But even to be real, even though I'm laying out these frustrations about the bullpen all too as well, because I thought I'd be coming in here with wins at least and all too as well, not a loss and all too, or losses and all too as well after the first 2 wins against Miami Marlins. But it seems like they are experimenting with the bullpen and all too as well to see if they can find an extra arm and all too as well. And Moran came out of nowhere and now he's gone and all too as well. Thank God with that too as well. But it just seems like they're experimenting. Isaiah Campbell too as well, not a guy I expect, even though I keep bringing up his name, not a guy I expect to be around for too long and all too as well. So it looks like they're just figuring out some extra arms and all too as well. When you have a guy like Slayton, presumably coming back very, very soon, I would think. I would think one more appearance maybe. I don't think he needs an appearance because he's been doing so many what's it called there, batting practice type of warm-ups and all too as well. Not in warming himself up for like home runs against people and all, and their own like simulated version of games or warm-ups for him too as well before going to that rehab start. So it wouldn't surprise me If he feels good, today or tomorrow and all, he's not back on the roster by the end of the weekend for the Sox at least and all. But still, just seems like they're experimenting, trying some new stuff. They never made a move at the trade deadline. So I can understand if they're trying to go into their minor league system and trying to find an arm or two to see if they can get hot from that, honestly, too. So I think it's Payne Tolley, honestly, the young cat down there they just sent to AAA. Not a great first start, but a damn good second start at least and all, too, as well. Wouldn't surprise me if he comes out of the pen in a David Price type of role, the way David Price came out of the bullpen for the Rays early in his career back in 2008 or so and all too as well. So that's why I expect them. That's why you're seeing all these. That's why I'm seeing all these different names. Let me put it in that sense. At least on the bullpen, at least I do expect them to find something more solidified, especially when Slayton is slated, to come back into the Red Sox bullpen and all too as well. But there is optimism. Again, I'm knocking the bullpen and the offense, especially over the last 2 games. But I do see some optimism and all too as well. Even with the offense, like I said, Willie Abreu got himself hurt, and I feel like they're lacking power. And I feel like he was, with that home run on Sunday, he could have started finding some power for himself too as well. He does lead the team in home runs this year, I believe, with 21 with that home run on Sunday and all too as well. But it did stink to, for him not to be in the lineup for the last 2 days and all too as well. Now you're lacking power. And Nathaniel Lowe gave you some, at least some, but if it weren't for his home run and all too as well in that ninth inning and all too as well, no one generated power for the Red Sox in my opinion. Maybe, I think Jan Duran had himself a big hit towards the end of Monday's game against Baltimore and all to make it, 6-3 because they were down like 6-1 going into that inning and all too as well. But there's some optimism and all too as well. I feel like I didn't have any optimism for the offense, but Nathaniel Lowe seems to be an idea of where you can get your jolt from too as well, from an extra bat at least and all too as well for the bottom of your lineup and all too as well. But for the bullpen, you got a guy like Justin Slayton coming in. It gets me, it does reserve my reservations and all about their bullpen. I can just look at Isaiah Campbell blowing that up and just messing up the rotation and all. Today they got a day off and all too as well on Wednesday before this 4-game set against the Yankees and all too as well. So I feel like the bullpen will find himself. The offense I'm a little bit worried about. Nathaniel Lowe did give me some optimism and all with his big home run in the ninth inning yesterday against the Orioles and all too as well. So we'll see how the offense is. I am concerned about the offense and all. If Willie Abreu doesn't come back soon, I'm going to start being a little bit concerned and all because they got to start generating power more than relying on box and things of that nature and all too as well. Like they're trying to bunt guys over the other day too as well. He had last night too as well, and they struggle with that too. Shout out to Connor Wong. He did that cleanly and all, but I'm seeing Romy and Sadan Rafaela go for bunts, and they just look awful with their takes at least and all too as well. So even though I am a fan of the suicide ball, the squeeze play, and all that type of stuff too as well, they don't have the ability off the top to do that. So I love them to start generating power to help their offense and all too as well. But like I mentioned, and I'm not gonna go too long because I ain't gonna go that depressing about this shit at least and all too as well. Excuse me. And all too as well, I am disappointed about these 2 losses against the Orioles at least and all too as well. This team has shown a propensity to respond and all too as well, and they kind of responded bad from that loss to Miami at least and all, the bullpen blowing it up. And then, bullpen blowing it up again. You can argue the bullpen blew it up in all 3 games and all too as well over the last 3 games. But you would think the offense could have saved them once at least and all. It seemed like yesterday at least and all, it seemed like the great opportunity to save the team at least and all with Nathaniel Lowe, game tying home run in the ninth and all, and then 3 straight innings with bases loaded and all, no outs. I think it was bases loaded, no outs. I could be stretching it with the no outs part in every inning at least, no. But you had the bases loaded in every inning. You couldn't get 1 run in any of those instances. Excuse me, and all too as well. But 4-game stretch against the Yankees at least, and all too as well. You're gonna have your best 3 pitchers in there at least, and all too as well. Let me see if they have rotations up yet. I would think based on just how the last starts. Who just pitched in the last starts. I would think Giolito goes on Thursday, Bayo goes on Friday, Crochet goes on Saturday, and who is it? Dustin May would probably go on Sunday and all too as well. Just based on just who pitched, just on pitched last and all too as well. Bueller misses this one and probably pitches the first game of the Orioles. What's it called there? Orioles series, the 4-game set of the Orioles series after the Yankees set and all in Baltimore and all too as well. So an interesting 8-game stretch and all too as well. The Sox, I believe, they went 4-4 during an 8-game stretch until these last 3 losses and all too as well. So like I said, 2-4 over the last 6, and then So 1-1. Two for the last 6, so 3-5 over the last 8, and all two as well. And all two as well. This stretch too has enabled the Yankees to take the #1 spot and the wild card too as well. Honestly, the Jays were struggling throughout this stretch a bit too as well. They had themselves a big win, I believe, against the Pirates last night and all two as well, but couldn't really take advantage of the losses the Jays were throwing up and all two as well. The Mariners have not struggled, but they've lost a couple. They lost a few or a couple over the last stretch too as well. Honestly, so you are really neck tied with the Yankees, the Mariners, and all two as well for the wild card spots too as well. I think just like I said, the Yankees are just up a game and all two as well. I think they got their big win against the Rays last night on too as well. But yeah, that's how the Sox are looking right now. Not so exciting right now, especially on my part at least and all too as well. But great opportunity against the Yankees and all too as well. They've played pretty damn good against the Yankees this year too as well. I think the last time they've seen the Yankees was a sweep. Was a big trade after the sweep and all too as well, but we're able to sweep the Yankees at home in this instant. I think this was mid-June, if not like early parts of the June at least and all too as well. But big 4-game stretch against the Yankees and all too as well. Like I said, the Yankees are probably going to have the lead of the wild card going into it. They have a game today against the Rays and all, and that they have a quick 2-game set too as well before this 4-game series and all. Like I said, in this last win, I believe gave them the lead in the wild card for the #1 spot for the time being, and they may win this one too as well. So I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of on a run right now too as well. What the Sox are doing, they're doing the complete opposite right now, which I did not expect. Well, you can't say I didn't expect that at least not too as well. I didn't think they'd bow out and fly out, from the from playoff contention and all too as well, even though they did blow a 9-game lead for the division, but that was in June and all too as well. But yep, that's all I got today and all too as well. Let's hope the Sox bullpen and their offense figures it out and all too as well. Again, yeah, if I want to throw another positive out there too as well, the pitching hasn't been bad. Dustin May, I feel like, was okay in his start and all too as well. I understand why you got to cut it short and all too as well if he starts struggling. It's not like the Sox offense was going and all too as well. That's why I kind of throw some things at the Red Sox offense too as well. But Walker Buehler, was it Walker Buehler? Walker Buehler wasn't so bad either, honestly, too as well. I mean, we all know who Walker Buehler is now. That's just why I'm saying it like that, at least. But still, again, he wasn't so bad either too as well. Honestly, I'm not looking at the starting pitching as a I think it's been solid, honestly, too, as well. Crochet had his one bad start, at least, and came back. It was pretty solid and all, too, as well, on Sunday against the Marlins and all, too, as well. So, yeah, it's just the bullpen and the offense, honestly. You hope they can turn it around and all, too, as well. But, like I said, I'll sign off based off that. Again, if you guys are listening, watching on the YouTube side, please subscribe, like, and comment and all. If you guys are listening on the podcast platform side, Apple, Spotify, Overcast, leave us a rating, add us to your library and all, too, as well. And hopefully, the next time I have an episode, Sox are kicking ass. I'm signing off.